Thank you very much. So, yeah, you actually took one of my opening lines. As James mentioned, I was here in 2019, did a whole talk for Revolut, and then from that, I actually listened to Darius's talk, who did his talk on Reflectly and how he grew them. And I was actually really inspired by their approach. Working at a fintech-regulated bank, it's actually very difficult to run really crazy, wacky ideas because there's always a lot of paperwork and things for you to actually progress through. So seeing the way that Reflectly approached growth was inspiring. And from that, I moved to Reflectly. So we're actually progressing now to actually be called Reflective Technologies, and you'll see why very shortly. So what do? So Reflectly, Reflective Technologies, buys, builds, and bundles vertical consumer subscription apps, software, in the personal wellness, health, and productivity space. And a quick introduction of who I am. As I mentioned, I spent 3 years working at Revolut, and I've now transitioned to work very, very often with Reflectly, looking to grow their suite of apps, grow out their teams, scale operations, and manage and understand ad spend and make sure it's running effectively. What do I love? Well, I took the jump from finance into health, wellness, productivity. Just generally think it's better for the mind, the soul. So I'm really, really enjoying that. And for those that you don't know, I'm actually from Jersey, which is a really small island next to France. And it's a tax haven as well. So it's very small. And things I say a lot: how can I automate this? How can this be scaled? And what does the data say? Like all good growth people. So where did it all begin? So in 2017, 3 guys from Denmark, Jakob, Daniel, and Jakob. No, I didn't say that twice. There are 2 of them. And they decided to run out and create a journaling app. So in 2017, they released the journaling app, built in Flutter, and scaled it over the following 2 years to 10 million downloads. Now, what is great about scaling and what's really exciting is you can run loads of tests, you can find all the growth hacks, look for all the arbitrages. And that's exactly what we did. On Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, that was how we thrived, looking for those quick wins. But like with all quick wins, they never last forever. A creative will eventually die, the media spend will not always work out, and we were in this we're always on the offense, and we never had much of a defense strategy, something that we could hold on to, something that we could look after, and something we could nurture and build ourselves. So, as I said, it's difficult. It's hard to increase search demand. How many people really actually want to have a journaling app every single day? There's always going to be a ceiling, and it's very, very expensive to increase that ceiling. So we thought, right, how do we position ourselves as a business to exponentially scale over the coming years? And just focusing on one app for ad spend reasons, capital allocation, it just didn't make a lot of sense to just go all in. So we came up with the bundle thesis. Now, the bundle thesis is pragmatically essentially taking a bunch of different products and software that are very similar to each other, bundle them together, selling that as a subscription, and increasing the value for the user. Why buy one app when you can have 10 or 12 or 13? And solve for every single problem, but then with every app comes with a layer of organic distribution that is already set in place. Because you buy apps that already have a very strong place on the App Store, that are already generating $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month in revenue automatically without you spending any ad spend, and the organic distribution is already there. It ranks very high for keywords. It ranks very high just generally brand-wise, and it's already built. It took us 2-3 years to get an app to 10 million downloads, and that was a slog. And it's very difficult to sleep at night when you're relying on the price of Facebook. And as we saw with iOS 14, that's just going to make things even more difficult. So, following on from that, 2020 into where we are today, we've acquired over 12 apps, and we've created this new way of running consumer subscriptions. We believe anyway, this is our bet. And we want to then build out what could become the next big healthcare platform. So what does the growth bundle currently look like? As you can see, Reflectly, right at the top in the middle. And it encompasses a whole range of different apps: mood tracking, sleep tracking, health tracking, time tracking, finance tracking, becoming the tracking company of the world. And to go a little bit deeper into our bundle thesis, how we think it's going to progress as the market grows, this graph is from Sensor Tower's market forecast, which I think actually they've got a talk about later today. And as you can see, where we are today in 2021, gaming outperforms and always has, revenue-wise, against consumer subscription products. But according to the forecasts and our bet, by 2024, 2025, consumer subscriptions will be more than gaming, way more, and will only get bigger. The adoption of more phones and everything else is going to happen. You can see the market itself is going to 3x, 4x. And like with any good asset or real estate, if you have enough assets in that space and you look after them, you take care of them over time, you're going to be a part of that wave of increase in the market and demand. As long as we allocate capital effectively, efficiently, and we look quite heavily as well at how the market is going to keep developing. And of course, since the integration of real subscriptions in 2016, 2017, and the development of other big companies like Calm, Headspace, all just pushing the subscription model onto even more customers, that is going to make customers feel this subscription revenue idea is even better. It's much easier. Big companies like Amazon, big companies like Netflix, subscriptions are here to stay, and they'll be here for many, many years. So we need to progress that way. I think also our initial thesis or idea was that we could just buy a product and flip it. Like you buy a home and you flip a home, you do it up a little bit. But it makes more sense for us over time, from what we've learned in the data, to just hold on, create more value for the users, increase our consumer subscription price, really, really dial in on our retention numbers. And over time, we have a very high-level growth system now where we're acquiring hundreds of thousands of downloads every month. A lot of that is organic as well, just because of the app's rankings, that it will just allow us to expand exponentially and grow exponentially, and the compounding effect will happen. So what does it mean to scale growth for a number of products? It's already hard enough to focus on one. How do you do it for 12, 13, 14, 15 different products? Well, you really have to be automated, systemized to the maximum. What we do, and what I've been focused on quite heavily in the last year or so, is building out tools in no code. There's some brilliant platforms out there that you can really dial in and break down all the annoying tasks that happen every single day, fully automate all of those, bring in some outsourced freelancers to come in and help you dial up your activity, your spend, but also focusing heavily on all the numbers and trying to attribute as best as you can. You're not going to be perfect, but as with iOS 14, it is going to be more and more difficult. So where are we today? We have 750,000 monthly new users, downloads coming in every single month, 215,000 active paying subscribers, and a lot of revenue, and it's just continually compounding year after year. We're looking really forward to the next month because, of course, January, new year, new me, everybody loves these health products, so it's just going to be an absolute dialed-in, huge focus for the next month as we grow and expand the business. And then a quick shout out to the team, Jacob, Daniel, and also Philip is also here, also part of the growth team. And there's only about 14 people actually working at the company, and then a bunch of freelancers and ad hoc people to also help us grow and expand. And where do we want to hit to? Based on our projections, we want to be aiming for about 750,000 paying subscribers. And our eventual goal is to hit 1 million paying subscribers over the next 2 years. So we are really dialing in on this approach. We are growing extremely fast. And this is our big bet, being the growth bundle. Thank you very much.